Small landlords are selling and I might be next. I might quit property investing and here's why. Because landlords are leaving the market. Should I sell too? Because the truth is, small landlords are being pushed out and I didn't think I'd say this, but I might sell my properties as well.
A landlord returned to his flat after a tenant moved out only to find the bedroom covered in hundreds of plastic bottles full of urine. The owner was reportedly left with no other choice but to clean up the mess himself.
With an altercation with one of her guests that saw her removed from the property by the police, and she just stopped paying rent at that time.
Landlord has attempted to remove her current tenant from their home, but the tenant quickly filed a stay of eviction.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, hi. It's your landlord here. I'm not very happy. You're a day late paying your rent, and I need you to leave the property.
What do you mean I'm a day late?
I've got money in 1 day late.
I didn't think I'd ever say this, guys, but recently I've genuinely been asking myself, should I sell my properties? And I know that might sound crazy, especially coming from someone who invests in property, talks about property and believes in property long term, but right now small landlords are selling up, and it's not just a few, it's a lot.
So we've got no belongings in the wardrobe at all. We've got a quilt on the bed, a fan. He's actually sent me an email to say that he would be leaving vacated yesterday. A few smellies and air fresheners in there.
You gotta clean up.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to clean the unit. I don't, you're not supposed to smoke inside. You're supposed to maintain the ACs and change the filter every month. Clean the filter.
You want me to clean the ceiling fans and the ceiling?
Yeah, I want you to clean your unit. And I don't want you to smoke inside. You're not supposed to be smoking around or inside the property.
Can your landlord show up unannounced? No. Landlord needs to provide you with a 24-hour notice stating why they need to come into your home. You give consent.
So this is what you should expect if you are a landlord going to the landlord-tenant board. You get any sort of resolution against your tenants. Your tenant has all the power. So, so what if it's your property? So what if you're paying taxes on it? Like, who are you? Just a landlord.
Hi everyone, I'm Sabrina from Spy Property Investments, and over the past few years I've built a small property portfolio that's now worth over £450,000, but that's mainly through buy-to-lets and mixed-use conversions here in Nottingham.
Matter of fact, let me... Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah, okay.
And you're recording this?
Yes, I'm recording this. Most definitely.
Pathetic.
Yeah, I know.
Pathetic. I know.
Most definitely.
So I'm going to contact the police right now. This will be documented, and you need to figure it out. You are not a manager. This is the first time I have ever encountered you. A property manager does all the communicating, does all the lease work, does everything from start to finish.
Oh my God. Bro, what the? I'm not going in there.
Oh, hell no.
This is the reality of how some people leave their homes when renting, and today this was my first walkthrough, and we will be focusing on clearing absolutely everything out of the property before giving it a nice big deep clean.
This is for me. I gotta run this building, right?
Yeah.
This whole building,
Yeah.
I can't run it if people don't pay the rent.
And you know what? That's the reason why I paid mine. I didn't want you coming to my door with this mess.
So in this video, I want to have a really tough conversation with you. No filters and no hype, just the truth. What is happening right now? Why are landlords leaving the market? And why am I questioning things too?
Since then, the house has allegedly been occupied by an unknown amount of strangers, which Seaward says had made renting the second section of the house impossible.
She doesn't live here anymore. We have a video of her packing up a U-Haul and leaving. But she is allowing her guests to stay here. People are coming and going at literally all hours of the day and night.
It should have been paid yesterday.
Okay, but you've got the money, right?
Well, yeah.
But we've got a direct debit. The payment goes out automatically. What I think has happened is because yesterday was Sunday and the last day of the month was a Sunday, the banks don't work on the weekend. So I think that the payment has only been processed and paid today because today's now a Monday.
So what is actually happening? Let's start here, because it isn't just a feeling, it's a shift. More landlords are selling, reducing their portfolios and stepping away completely. And the reasons, they are stacking up.
You're smoking inside, you're damaging the ACs, you're not reporting the issues that you're supposed to report, and you have a damaged car, which I'm going to tag, and I'm giving you into the 14 to fix.
To the 14?
Yeah,
to
fix it or remove it.
And the 14 for my apartment?
I'm giving you 7 days for you to cure. We're going to come and replace the ACs, and depending how that goes, I'm going to come back and do another inspection.
Don't let your landlord walk all over you. Tell him you need to provide me with a 24-hour notice and the reason why you're coming into my home.
Stop offering your tenants cash for keys. The only thing that's going to do is that they're going to hold that against you when you go to the LTB and be like, oh, see, they want me out so badly.
Again, let me remind you, I've been in this industry for 12 years. I oversee 6 properties in Washington State. You've broken several laws. You understand that, right?
Around 93,000 landlords have left the UK market already, and that is not a small amount. It's not just a few people panicking. That is probably around 6% of all buy-to-let landlords gone in 1 year.
Alright, so I evicted my tenant about 15 days ago. I had to wait 10 days to let them get their shit out. I don't know what the fuck they did in there, but we about to find out.
We decided to start upstairs and go room by room, so pretty much we just threw everything into a bag and took it down the stairs to the skip bin. Here is a little glimpse of the walk-in wardrobe that we started cleaning out.
That's the reason why I'm telling you, I got the government, and I got the mail lady, and I got the people that's working with at the currency exchange, working with me. And from this time forward, I might have to go over to the fire department too, and let them know what's going on.
She clarifies, still no rent is being paid. And while the police have been called, not much can be done on their part.
And when you zoom out, over 150,000 landlords have exited over just the past 2 years alone.
Well, you didn't tell me that, did you? You didn't contact me to say it's going to be late.
Yeah, but I don't know that though. I don't work for the banks. Like, I've been living here for 8 months. It's always been on time. And then so happenly, the last of the month fell on a Sunday.
Yeah, but that's not my problem, is it?
If you keep the premises like this, I have no other option but to terminate your lease.
So you do this to everybody? You go to
Only the people that don't maintain the properties. That's who I do it to. And unfortunately, that's my job. I know we all go through hardships. You've been with us for a long time. I don't want you to move, but my job is to preserve the property. And unfortunately, right now, we're not doing that. So that's how it is, okay?
Also, back in the day, it used to be half a month's rent as cash for keys. Now it's anywhere from 8 to 10K I've seen, and still tenants will reject that offer.
I can't wait to start the proper cleaning process on Monday and get this place looking brand new again. What we do know is this place was a brand new build and these were the first tenants that ever lived in it. So I really want to make it perfect for the actual owner.
So the pressure is building. This is what people have to say. So increased regulation, that is a main one. The increased regulation, the rules, the more compliance, more pressure, all of that just equals one thing.
Because I'm on disability. I don't have to be going through all of this here. Because that money that they give me, I get it and take it to the currency exchange, and then I get my money order and I send my rent off.
Any person who takes money from a landlord and says, hey, I want to do cash for keys, you are extorting an individual when the whole reason a landlord would want you out, sure, it might be to increase rent, but guess what? It's their
freaking property. Who the fuck are you? We threw a lot of stuff from upstairs off the balconies. Ended up just being so much easier than having to lug it all the way down the stairs, and the bags were so heavy. We then started on the kitchen. There were a lot of unexpected goodies in here that we found.
Yeah.
Why did you put my suitcase out today, and like why is like the keys not working today?
Because I've changed the locks.
Okay, but why?
Because I gave you notice to leave. I told you the rent was going up. You said nothing.
Rising costs, rising maintenance costs, rising mortgage costs, rising insurance costs. It's just going through the roof. And also increasing risks from tenants, late payments, maybe damage, legal delays, and all of this combines. It stops feeling like an investment and starts feeling like a liability.
You're okay going to sleep at night,
Yes.
knowing that you have evicted a family and put them out at risk of homelessness onto the street. You're
Yes.
okay with that?
Yes.
I think there should be empathy for people struggling.
All right, I'll serve a very empathetic eviction notice.
I'm just so angry that as a landlord, I shouldn't have to feel guilty about owning property or properties in our case. Why does it appear that all landlords are demonised and put in the same bracket?
I'm sorry, I just don't think that's fair. And the human consequences of a tax system and a rental system where a landlord can put up the rent by as much as they want at the end of every lease. Like, we desperately need caps on rent increases right now.
This is correct. For a visual inspection, I see that this is the cause of this whole problem.
This is one of the
This is the cause. This is the cause.
In my honest thoughts, there have been moments recently where I've even thought as well, is it still worth it? And that's not something I say lightly. And if you've seen my channel over the past few years, guys, and you've followed me, you know that property has been my strategy, my focus, my plan. But even with experience, you still feel pressure.
My mum being told she was dying, my German Shepherd got killed on my driveway, my horse got killed outside my house on the dual carriageway, Harvey had a kidnap threat. Then I caught my husband cheating again.
What happens on a renting inspection? Well, it really depends on who's inspecting the property. Generally speaking, when an agent or a landlord's coming out to do an inspection, they're just looking for the general condition of the property, making sure that there's no damage.
Is your landlord evicting you from your rental? Well, let's talk about the form that you are owed and the associated rights that it comes with. The legal ways that a landlord can evict you without cause, meaning you didn't do anything wrong, you paid your rent on time, would be because they need the unit back for themselves, their child, their parent, or a caregiver of any of the above, or because they have sold to an end user, so not another investor.
No, okay, yeah, but like you didn't say you didn't say it was like a notice to leave. You just said that like the rent is going up, and I said no, I'm not going to pay more rent. And literally today I come back here. My suitcase is here. No, it's not even my suitcase. But my stuff's inside there.
Yeah, because
Why?
I told you and you weren't about. I didn't see you, so at the end of the day, the new people have moved in.
So the emotional side, this is the part that no one talks about. So putting aside everything else, it's not just money, it's stress, it's responsibility, it's uncertainty. And when things go wrong, it hits different.
I think homelessness shouldn't exist. I think people should not be homeless.
Sure, and people shouldn't be sick either, and isn't it a shame that people... That's the
Those are
world.
not any, that is not comparable in
It
any
is.
way.
It is.
Absolutely not.
It's the world we live in.
Because the human consequences of that are the people I've spoken to. Single mums choosing between buying their baby's nappy rash cream or paying the rent.
But isn't it the case that actually interest rates have risen as well, that some landlords actually are in significant financial trouble as well?
So I would have come here, seen the problem, which is the system. It cost you about £225 for the whole job. That's it. And now it's going to cost thousands, literally.
If in fact they sell to an investor, you as the tenant have every right to stay at your current rental price if you want to. So when they are evicting you for one of these legal reasons, then they owe you Form N12. There are 3 reasons why you want to receive an N12. First is because when they provide you with an N12, they have to give you minimum of 60 days notice.
So why are landlords selling? Why do I think landlords are selling? Let's break it down clearly. So personally, I think it's due to the obvious. Profit margins are shrinking, there's more risk and less reward, and time versus the return imbalance.
At the end of the day, I told you the rent was going up. I told you I'm going to need you out if you can't afford to pay. You said nothing.
No, you didn't say that like you need me out.
Yes, I did.
You said about increasing the rent, and I said I'm not willing to pay that.
Well, then that's your fault, isn't it?
It's called a free market. What irritates me is when tenants tell me they can't pay rent because their mum just died. They would never call their energy provider and say, I can't pay my energy bill because my mum died. They would never call Sainsbury's and go in and say, my mum died, can I have free food? Why do they come to me?
If the landlord had tackled the leak 2 months earlier, this would have been a small repair bill. Now she's faced with paying thousands to put this right. That's if she obeys the council's instructions.
I'm just really annoyed about the fact that all this could have been prevented if she'd have just paid for a bloody toilet system.
So for many, selling probably feels like a relief. And here's where it gets more interesting. The recent survey shows 26% of landlords have sold at least one property in 2024.
They've been called by the tenants.
Okay, and what's going on inside at the moment? Are they getting this stuff
We've given
out?
them an hour to get their personal belongings together, which is our standard procedure. And then they can make an arrangement with the landlord to come back and get the rest of their stuff out.
Okay, no worries.
I want them out on the street.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
In perfect world, they'll be out on the street by 9:15.
Join us, see my colleague needs an
Of course you can, yeah.
Half the time they're not paying, half the time they're friggin' treating your property like crap. Always friggin' get a lawyer. That couple of grand that you spend is gonna actually help you out and really save you money in the long term.
Dear VA, I rented my property to an international student. The rent is paid, there's no problem with that. On the first inspection that my agency did, the property was a complete mess. Now, I understand everyone has their own personal standards or ways of living, but the property was a complete mess. You couldn't see the floor, there was boxes, there was rubbish, there was tip everywhere. It doesn't look quite normal, to be honest, but that's probably not my issue. I can't allow my property to stay in this condition. What do I do?
That's the highest level ever recorded, and it doesn't just stop there. Around 33% have either sold or actively tried to sell. So if you're thinking about it, you're not alone, not even close.
When your tenant's not paying rent, releasing bed bugs into the house, right? They will take a bed bug infested mattress or a bed bug infested couch or this or that. They will wait till the tenant leaves. They will open the home and they will throw the mattress or the couch, which is infested with bed bugs, into the tenant's home. That is something I would never do because that is illegal.
Just stay back. I'm going to call the guards.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, stay back.
Go on.
Just stay back, Thomas.
Sorry?
Just stay back.
No, this is my flat.
No, this is your place, but you cannot do this.
Go to hell.
No, just stay back.
Go to hell.
Never, ever, 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 never put a garbage disposal
in Reno.
In Reno.
Okay, and you told me.
¿Por qué?
Porque it's more problems, more maintenance.
You work on a lot of rental properties. How many garbage disposals do you change?
Thousands.
Thousands.
So the turning point question. So the real question becomes, as landlords, smaller landlords in particular like myself, do we push through or do we step away? What is the bigger picture?
New laws giving tenants more rights start in England on Friday, May the 1st. Here are 8 things you need to know about the Renters' Rights Act. Number 1, landlords are no longer allowed to evict tenants without giving a reason.
Today's job, tenant leaves the property in this condition and we're going to clear it out and get it ready for decoration.
Let me give you an update on this Airbnb damage that happened to one of my properties where the tenant is refusing to pay out. So the property is all fine. Obviously, it's just normal standard cleaning that was needed. But this mark does not want to come off. I've tried it. It's a whole paint job. And then I've noticed this as well down here. This was brand new wall.
But this is the part that recently made me pause. The UK rental market has lost around approximately £48 billion in value in 2025. 48 billion, and that's not a dip, that is a shift in the entire market. And at the same time, around 200,000 rental properties have disappeared in 1 year. And a lot of you might be championing that and thinking, yay, that's great, that's back out there in the market. But for the rental market, that means that's less supply and more pressure.
Our flat has been trashed. What would you do if you rented out your property and it was given back in this state?
We're Matt.
And Harriet.
And Hunter.
We have 1 weekend to fix this whole place up. The rubbish we can deal with, although it's annoying and it should be left clean. It's the broken and missing furniture that annoys me, and all the marks and mess on the walls.
Landlords, you could be fined up to £7,000 if you don't do this by the 31st of May 2026. So there is a new legal requirement coming in under the Renters' Rights Act, and this is one which a lot of landlords are completely unaware of. So you will be required to give your tenants an official Renters' Rights Act information sheet, and if you don't, you could face a financial penalty of up to £7,000.
This house is one that I rented to someone who brought 2 dogs uninvited along to stay with them, and by living in the property daily, they absolutely wrecked it. The property looks like it wasn't even clean from the moment that they got the keys until the moment that they were removed and I got the keys back.
So what I realised, this is where my thinking shifted. The problem wasn't just property, it was how I was managing it, because without systems, everything feels harder. And here's the scary part. Landlords aren't just selling, they're not buying either, because landlord purchases have dropped just 10.9% of all properties, the lowest ever recorded.
If you're a landlord in England, this video might just save you a £7,000 penalty, because on the 1st of May 2026, the Renters' Rights Act officially becomes law, and the government has just released a new information sheet which outlines all of the new tenancy changes, and you need to provide this to your tenants before the 31st of May 2026. Failure to do so, and you might face a £7,000 fine.
A lot of landlords are about to get caught out, and most of them won't even realise it until it's too late. From May, there's a new requirement. You must serve the information sheet to your tenants before the 31st of May. And this isn't just to your new tenants, it's including your existing tenants as well.
This is why private landlords are selling up right now in the UK. No, it's not because the houses are getting trashed, it's not because bad tenants, it's because of how they actually bought the property in the first place. So if you're a private landlord and you've bought this and you've bought it in your personal name, number one, you're getting Section 24 taxed. Number two, the Chancellor has just put more taxes on private rental income in your personal name.
And what does that tell you? That people aren't just leaving, they are not coming back in. This isn't just a few landlords, this is tens of thousands, and this is the highest sell-off we've ever seen. This isn't noise, this is a trend. The market isn't just changing, it is shifting. And again, some of you might be championing that, but with reduced supply comes increased risk, and increased risk will only equal one thing: price hikes.
And a lot of tenants like to splash water, which causes leaks, which causes landlords thousands of pounds of money. Landlords, for £500 to £600 in a bathroom, you can get preventative maintenance and invest in something like this.
If you currently rent in England, there are new laws that come to force today that will impact you and your rights. Here's what you need to know. First up, contracts. Wave goodbye to being locked into a place for 12 months, as all private rent contracts will now be rolling month to month or week to week with no end date, rather than fixed.
Tenants think they've won, but this could make renting much worse. Here are the 5 worst changes for landlords. Number 1, Section 21. Once that gets abolished after the 1st of May, it means you can't just evict a tenant based on no grounds, meaning bad tenants can drag things through courts for years.
So the Renters Reform Act is changing the game for landlords. Longer eviction timelines, more compliance, less control over your property. So what happens if a tenant stops paying the rent for months? A long-term commercial lease agreement can remove the day-to-day tenant management completely.
So what am I doing? So for me, I'm doubling down on my plan. I see this as an opportunity, but only if I do it right. I put in systems in place to make things as low effort as possible, to manage my properties as I add to my portfolio and grow.
Number 2, landlords who do want to evict a tenant now have to give 4 months' notice. If your landlord wants to put your rent up, they'll have to give you 2 months' notice, and they can only increase your rent once a year. refusing a prospective tenant because they have children or because you're on benefits.
Like someone fallen down because I can see other markings on the wall, and I've tried to wipe it off. It's not working, and the reason to that is because, well, it needs painting.
The bathroom's not too bad. Rear yard. Sofas, mattresses, household waste, loads of it.
As you see in my day in the life videos, if you watch them, you'll see exactly how I manage my properties step by step. So I took all of the mistakes I made when I was managing my own properties and built them into solutions.
So this isn't optional, it is a legal requirement. So the information sheet has been published by the central government, and it sets out the key rights and responsibilities for both landlords and tenants under this new regime. And you must provide it to your tenants by the 31st of May 2026. Now you can get the document directly from the Gov.uk website, so it's already available now.
This tenant was not meant to have dogs. I do not rent to tenants that have pets because the damage that they cause is colossal and it costs me thousands of pounds to repair it. This tenant broke the rules. Not only that, they weren't paying their council tax bills, they weren't paying their electricity bills, and all of a sudden they were racking up a lot of debt. They stopped paying me.
If you're self-managing, you need to do this, and you need proof, either through an email or through an electronic signature. If you've got a letting agent, make sure they're doing it, but for belt and braces, you can also send it as well.
Now, here is where it gets risky. If your tenants know the rule better than you, and let's be honest, most of them will know, they can report you to the council and you could be landing a fine of up to £7,000. And the biggest problem isn't that you forgot. Landlords sending it incorrectly is the biggest problem, and not having proof that they actually sent it as well.
I've got checklists, processes, and they all equate to templates. And everything I use now is structured, and instead of keeping that in my own business, I've turned them into ready-to-use templates.
And number 3, you've got no protection. So if a tenant has an accident in your property, they go after you and all your personal assets. Where sophisticated landlords are buying in corporate structures. They are corporate, and this is only 7% of the UK do this.
We inherited this, so originally we would have taken it on and it would have just had the tiles and bought with that. But obviously you've got board round the back, and a lot of tenants like to splash water, which causes leaks, which causes landlords thousands of pounds of money.
Second, the rent itself. If you've ever gone through the stressful experience of being in a bidding war for a rental property, then those days are over. It is now illegal for landlords and agents to suggest or accept offers over the original listing. Not only that, but gone are the days of paying months' worth of rent up front. Landlords can now only ask for 1 month's rent to secure the tenancy and no more.
Number 2, no more fixed term. Everything becomes rolling, tenants can leave, but that means you carry all the risk. Number 3, rent increase is restricted only once a year and tenants can challenge it.
So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Are you like me, where you agree that, a lot of people have left the property market, a lot of landlords have left, and probably property isn't so passive anymore as what you thought because of all the increased compliance and regulations and everything like that? Or are you thinking, yes, that's a great thing, that's a brilliant thing to happen?
Landlords can no longer ban pets. Renters can ask to live with a pet, and landlords have to consider the request fairly. Fixed term tenancies, where renters are tied into contracts for like 12 months or 24 months, are now banned. All private rent contracts will roll on from month to month or week to week with no end date.
This is peak, bro. This is nuts. Look, is that birds?
So look, I've complained to the Airbnb. Tenant doesn't want to pay. Tenant saying I'm faking it. So now I have to wait for Airbnb to intervene. This is a job that my painter is going to have to take the TV off, take the brackets off, paint the whole wall again. And that's why that cost is that.
And in terms of how you serve it, well, the safest approach is to treat this like any other formal notice. So in my opinion, I'd send it either by email or by recorded delivery so that you have a clear evidence trail that it's been provided. Because if there is ever a dispute, the burden is going to be on you as the landlord to show that you've complied. And importantly, don't just send a link. Best practice is to send the actual document so there's no argument about whether the tenant received the full information suite.
That means more properties are out there for first-time buyers and so on and so forth. Whatever your thoughts are, pop them in the comments below. And if you want to practically see how I went through the whole bridging process, then watch this playlist next where I do just that. Thanks guys, bye.